in the summer of 1996, the American Cheese Society was organizing a trip to Greece, to the mountains of Greece. I was in heaven. All these people were so interesting and so knowledgeable and so open. We went to see shepherds make cheese in the most primitive ways up in the hills of my country. It was really a life-turning moment for me, that trip.
Probably the most interesting takeaway on it is how much the problems were the same. Getting cultures, getting things that had to do with the animals. How do you market when you're small and you don't have a lot of marketing dollars? And certainly it was wonderful to see a community built on cheese.
One of the things that was happening at that point in time was the threat of mandatory pasteurization, perceived or actual, and the American Cheese Society was very active in trying to put forth a defense to protect the right of cheesemakers to use raw milk cheese. I was very involved with that, as were many, many other people, and these were the days when we didn't have 2 nickels to rub together. But through grassroots campaigns and retailers doing promotions and pointing out to people that raw milk cheese was not a danger, and some of their European favorites were indeed made out of raw milk, and people didn't die but indeed thrived having eating these for centuries, I think that we made a bit of progress. And the movement grew, and the Cheese of Choice Coalition was formed, and Kathy Strange became chairman of that, and we just gradually gained steam. And now it almost seems to be a bit of a non-issue. I think we've turned our attention towards other things.
I made it my business to write a really good chapter in my cheese primer about American cheeses, and as I say, that was really the first time anybody ever did that, and that really took a lot. I think, I'm not bragging, it's just the way it went. A lot of people saw that and realized, hey, there's a lot of good American stuff out there, and that was a great, great, joyous thing for me to be able to help get that word out there, because the American Cheese Society is not about the retailers or the chefs. It's about the people that make the cheese and do all the hard work and are trying desperately to keep it going. And that's what I responded to, is to try and help those wonderful people keep it going.
Well, I went to my first conference with the American Cheese Society in 1998, and that was just after deciding that I wanted to write a book about American cheese. And I knew that it was the go-to place or society to learn about American cheese. Going to the conference, I was exposed to a lot of cheeses that I didn't know, about 300 of them actually. But it was not an organization that had any organization to it. It was very grassroots, even though it had been in existence for a while by then. It's always been an organization that has been helpful to cheesemakers and for others that are involved with cheese, whether retailers, distributors, cheese enthusiasts, or whoever. It's just a great place to go and get and share information and develop that camaraderie that's just inherent in the cheese world anyway. I don't think I could do what I do without the American Cheese Society.
I remember checking things off lists and cross-checking to make sure that everything was as it should be. And these were the days before the ACS had a program that was computerized. So it was done with checklists and highlighted columns with magic marker and pencils. I mean, it was absolutely insane. And we're not talking that long ago. I mean, I think we're talking 1997, 1998. So I painfully remember 2 years of that. And this was just, again, volunteer work. And then Richard and Karen Silverstein, and it was Karen, volunteered 1 year in San Francisco, I believe. And it was at that moment that through her experience in the IT world, that there was born this vision that we could ditch the clipboards and move ahead. And Karen and Richard are actually the ones, along with David Grotenstein and John, who have really revolutionized our competition. And if it weren't for the work that they have done repeatedly year after year, there is no way that we would be able to receive catalog and record accurately the scores.
We were a very small group of people, and at the time we were all, how can I call us, pioneers in it. We felt like trappers. That's how I felt, like the trappers that slowly learn about the American continent and slowly open ways for other people to follow. That's how it felt like at the time.